Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. So recently I just got done reacting to one of the most viral picture that has recently hit the internet. And I feel like this is going to play a huge role in exactly what we're going to talk about today.
Here's Patrick
So Tucker responds to Patrick Bet David. Let's hear what he has to say.
Bet David on his podcast a day or two ago. Watch this.
I don't know why Catholics, have this issue with Jews. I don't know what it is.
Well, there's only two theocracies in the world:
Catholicism and
Islam. I'm sorry, the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Yep.
And the Vatican.
Yeah.
Those are the two major
So-
theocracies.
So actually,
So Patrick Bet David asked the question, I don't know what Catholic has anything to do with the Jews. Need I say more? Should I say any more? I mean, think about this, right? Both Muslims and and Christians both believe in Jesus. We both do that. Jews, on the other hand, believe that Jesus is burning in human fecal matter. So, with that being said, this guy right here claims to be a Christian. This guy is a Jew. This guy, Adam Susnake, believes that his God is burning in human fecal matter. But for some odd reason, he can seem to understand why the Jews have an issue. He can seem to understand why Catholics have issue with Jews. Let's continue with what Tucker had to say about this.
so actually, the Vatican is very much like the theocratic government, the mullahs. It's all basically the same. They've got the complicated dress. They hate the Jews, as Patrick Bet David just said. Catholics have a problem with the Jews. A problem with the Jews. It's slander. It's an attack on the world's largest and oldest Christian denomination, and it's taking place openly.
Why do you think that is? In case many of you guys are not really aware of what's going on. Recently, the Pope, the head of the Catholic religion, has came out to pretty much criticize Donald J. Trump and his goonies about the attack in Iran and how unjust the attack is. With that being said, we can all unanimously agree that the war that is recently happening in Iran is done on the behalf of the state of Israel. So if a position in high position of power, like the Pope, comes out and condemns such action, it only makes sense that the only people who are going to have an issue with that are going to be the Zionists. But one thing that I can't seem to wrap my mind around is the fact that, is Zionism so powerful that you are willing to pretty much throw away your entire belief system just because, well, you don't want to go against a few hundred people all over the world? I mean, think about it. J.D. Vance, I recently just found this out that he is a Catholic. But yet he was sitting on stage criticizing the Pope for what's going on in Iran.
rather have the conversation. So I kind of like, even when there's disagreement, I like it when the Pope comments on questions of immigration. I like it when the Pope talks about abortion. I like it when the Pope talks about matters of war and peace, because I think that at the very least it invites a conversation. I certainly think the answer is yes, and I agree. Jesus Christ does not. I agree. Jesus Christ certainly does not support genocide. Whoever yelled that out from the dark, he certainly does not. I think that's pretty easy. I think that's a pretty easy principle. When the Pope says that God is never on the side of those who wield the sword, there is more than a 1,000-year tradition of just war theory. Okay? Now, we can, of course, have disagreements about whether this or that conflict is just, but I think that it's important, in the same way that it's important for the Vice President of the United States to be careful when I talk about matters of public policy. I think it's very, very important for the Pope to be careful when he talks about matters of theology.
And now you have Patrick Bet David now speaking out about, well, Catholicism. And the pattern that seems to be occurring is, well, you're going to hear about it. Let's hear.
And it's all coming from the same source, which is Israel.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. So I guess what Tucker Carlson is trying to tell you, in case you haven't really caught on yet, is that Israel has now become a god in the eyes of these people. It's no longer, from the Christian perspective, it's no longer Jesus. For some Muslim, it's not even Allah. Because I have heard some people, so-called Muslims, and you hear the way they speak about Zionism and they speak about the state of Israel, and they're just in wow. And I'm just like, holy shit. We have them walking in all religion.
Anyone who ratifies every decision, no matter how violent or grotesque or genocidal of the Netanyahu government, those are the good people. And anyone who doesn't is a Nazi. And by the way, their religion itself is a Nazi religion. It's an inherently anti-Semitic religion. That's what they're telling you out in the open.
And why do you think that is? Why do you think that is? Like I said, they have pretty much taken their God and threw it behind them and said, Zionism is not my new religion. Zionism is where I get my morals from. If Benjamin Netanyahu comes tomorrow and says that I need to criticize the Pope, that's exactly what I'm going to do. If Benjamin Netanyahu comes tomorrow and says that I need to criticize the fact that Jesus has not helped the Jews, that's exactly what I'm going to do. I guess what I'm trying to say is, well, Jesus is no longer in the picture, nor is Allah no longer in the picture. Now it has become Zionist. Zionism has become the new God of this world. In the Bible, what does it say? That Satan is the God of this world. I'm not a Christian, but I'm just quoting your Bible. In Islam, well, you have a lot of people out there who claims to be believers, but yet they turn a complete blind eye to what's going on in Gaza. You had Muslim leaders in the past who would literally go to a war if one Muslim lady gets oppressed. Now you have hundreds and thousands of Muslims who are being bombed day and night. And while you have the Muslim leaders sitting back saying, oh, words of condemnation. Oh, how dare the Israelis drop the bomb on the Palestinians.
Here's Patrick.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, how dare the Israelis drop the bomb on the Muslims. Oh, these damn Israelis. Oh, and then that's it. They don't really do anything about it. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's the new God of this world. It has become Zionism.